All right. So on your note cards, you have to look at them to see what we're looking for. So that first problem involved two chords. It doesn't involve inscribed angles. That was yesterday. Here's chords intersecting. Okay? So if you look at chords intersecting, you take A times B equals C times D. So on this one, you take 6 times 4 equals 3 times x. Now, how do we solve that? 6 times 4 is? Equals 3x. Divide by 3. What does x equal? 8. The length of this would be 8. And proportionally, that looks correct. All right. Here, we're looking for an angle when two chords cross. Okay? Our formula is this. To find the angle, it equals 1/2 of one arc plus the other arc. So 1/2 of 240, which is 120. Any questions on that? This one, the angle equals 1/2 of the big arc minus the little arc. You always take big minus little. So 1/2 of 84 minus 22, which is 1/2 of 62, which is this angle out here is a 31-degree angle. Okay? Uh-oh. We have the angle. How are we going to find the big arc? Fill in what you know. 24 equals 1/2 of the big arc minus the little arc. We got to somehow solve for x here. What's an easy thing to do on both sides to solve for x, to get rid of that fraction? Multiply by 2. So 48 equals x minus 32, and then you add 32. Okay? The angle equals 1/2 the big minus the little. Okay? So we take 1/2 of 58, I think, which is 29 degrees. How do we know the little here if I know the big is 200 and I have two tangents? I have a tangent line hitting here and a tangent line hitting here. How do I know the little arc if the big arc is 200? Don't divide by 2. Yeah, 360 minus 200. Because there's 360 degrees in a circle, 200 is a big part, 160 would be left for the little part. So it's 1/2 of the big minus the little. So 1/2 of 40 is 20. Okay? When you hit a problem like this, it's the outside times the whole thing equals the outside times the whole thing. What's the whole thing of the top one? 32. What's the whole thing of the bottom one? 16 plus x, not 16x. We're not multiplying, we're adding. So the outside 12 times the whole thing, 32, equals the outside 16 times the whole thing, 16 plus x. 12 times 32, I don't know what that is off the top of my head. It's like 320 plus 64, which is 384. Somebody verify that for me.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Then if we subtract by 256 on each side, 16x equals 28, 128. Divide by 16, x equals 8. This would be 8 in here. So 24 times 16 equals 12 times 32. All right. So we wrote all these on your note card. So you got to make sure all these are on your note card. Okay, in this drawing, how do you find x? How would we find x in this drawing? X is at an angle or a length? A length, and it's with chords crossing on the inside. So it's 10 times x equals 9 times 8. So 10x equals 72. X equals 7.2. Okay? How would we find y? Is y an angle or a length? Angle. Andrew? Y equals 1/2 of what? Do we add or subtract the arcs? You add them when they're on the inside. When the angle's on the inside, you add them. When the angle's on the outside, you subtract them. So y equals 1/2 of 130, which is 65. Okay? How would I find, well, I don't need to find z, because that would be impossible to find anyway. There's not enough information. Okay, angles on the outside, so what do we do with the two arcs? 1/2 of the big minus the little. Oh, 51. So it equals 1/2 of 56, 106, yep. Which equals 53. You guys were shouting the answers out so far ahead of time, I was writing down the wrong stuff. But that's all right. If the small arc is 135, what's the big arc? 360 minus 135. 225. So x equals 1/2 of the big minus the little. Outside times the whole thing. What's the whole thing? 31 equals the outside times the whole thing. 310 equals 196 plus 14c. Subtract 196. So you get what? 116? 114 equals 14c. Divide by 14. I'll trust you. Okay, a circle has a triangle inscribed in it. And we have an angle P, an angle Q, and an angle R. Angle R is 30. Angle Q is 70. Angle P is 80. Now this goes back to yesterday in inscribed angles. If this is 80, what's arc QR? 160. What's arc QP? What's do these add up to 360? Yes, they do. 60, 160, and 140. Okay? If we block out this stuff right now, okay, we take the outside x times the whole thing, x or x squared, equals the outside 3 times the whole thing of 15. So x squared equals, what's 3 times 15? 45. If we take the square root of 45,
6.8 something. 6.7.
okay, then if we take the outside 6.7 times the whole thing squared equals the outside 6 times the whole thing, 6 plus y. So it's 45 equals 36 plus 6y. Subtract 36, 9 equals 6y. Divide by 6. Y equals 1.5. Oh, that's all the whole thing already? Well, that was quick. Only 7 questions. Well, happy Friday to you guys.